It was only a matter of time, but now President Donald Trump is embroiled in Diddy's Diddiness. Perez Hilton here, and 2 new lawsuits were filed that are connected because both women shared one traumatic, disturbing night with Diddy, and I'll get to that. But first, a warning. This story felt like there was some interesting details to share, compelling, and even though I'm personally over another lawsuit, I do believe it is important to share these stories. The only way to keep darkness at bay is to shine light. According to court documents, 2 women who filed anonymously as Jane Doe in each separate lawsuit against Cassie's ex-boyfriend claimed that the disgraced music mogul raped them at a Donald Trump hotel. You know, the former Apprentice alum who on his show called him a good guy and his good friend. Yeah, these attacks happened there. Both women claimed that they often ran into Diddy since they were active in the hip-hop scene during the 80s and 90s and had nightmare experiences with him. In one of the suits, the first Jane Doe claims that Kim Porter's baby daddy assaulted her several times in multiple states, including California and New York. The first alleged instance happened when she was hired as a bottle service girl for a party at his home in the Hamptons in 1997 after a friend told her that she could make $2,000. When Diddy made his grand entrance, he allegedly gave a drink to Jane Doe and other staff members. She then, quote, began to feel woozy, slipping in and out of consciousness after the first beverage, and was raped by one of his male associates under his direction. The woman also recalls, quote, seeing Combs fully without clothes at one point and witnessing another man sodomizing him. In the complaint, she states that she believed Diddy captured the alleged incident on camera, but he refused to delete the footage. And according to Jane Doe, that was not the only time that the Bad Boy Records founder was wholly inappropriate to her, harming her. The first Jane Doe went on to claim that another incident took place in New York City in the 90s. The lawsuit reveals that she had been at Diddy's party at this club called the Limelight. I had been to the Limelight before, okay? I didn't know this happened there. Allegedly, I guess maybe for the VVIPs, the top 2 floors were used for SE to the X parties. When the woman tried to leave, Diddy wouldn't let her, the lawsuit claims. Nothing happened at the club from there. However, things took a scary turn when he took her and a friend, along with several men, to a penthouse at the Trump Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The woman claimed that she did not want to go to the hotel, but, quote, Combs made it clear that they did not have a choice. There, she claims she was held hostage, drugged, and forced to participate in group activity during which she was sexually assaulted over the next several hours. Diddy allegedly directed a club promoter to grape her while he watched. It was not until the following morning that he let the two women leave. The second Jane Doe made similar claims in her own lawsuit. And what is damning to him is these two women were the ones that I just spoke about. They were both subjected to this, so they will be each other's witnesses. His lawyers are going to have their work cut out for them. The two women were together during what went down. The second Jane Doe alleged in her complaint that Diddy became violent and subjected her to SA, coercion, abuse, and violence at his hands or direction on numerous separate occasions as well. This included the night of the party at the club, the Limelight, and at the Trump Hotel Midtown. The woman, wow, whoa, what? The woman was dating one of Diddy's security guards at that time. And he still did this to her repeatedly? The security guard must have been in on it. They all probably were. Diddy was surrounded by enablers, and that's why it still pains me that none of his cohorts in the racketeering organization have been charged yet. Only him. Yet. Hopefully others will be charged. They need to be. The second Jane Doe talks about being with her friend, the first Jane Doe, at the Limelight party. Then they went to the Trump Hotel. While in the room, she allegedly was forced to take what she thinks was an ecstatic pill or similar substance and participate in group activity. She also claims that she was raped by a security guard as Diddy watched. These two lawsuits are the latest from Tony Busby. And I just want him to drop them all at once. Like, I know maybe it's too much work to do that, but I'm so exhausted with all of these lawsuits. And I don't mean that in a dismissive way. I'm just too much of an empath. My heart goes out to all of these people, but this is just so dark. So dark and draining. Tony Busby is suing Diddy, and both of the Jane Does are suing as part of the New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. They've also asked for compensatory damages for physical injuries, emotional distress, psychological harm, anxiety, humiliation, physical and emotional pain and suffering, family and social disruption, and other harm. His attorneys, though, are saying the same shtick yet again. As we have said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous or demonstrably false. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. As I've said before, I think some of the charges against him in civil court are not true, but I think most of them are. And he got away with it for decades. Thoughts on these latest lawsuits? Let me know in the comments section.